We're going to talk about the financial market. Why is the market off to its worst start of the year? What's happening with the real estate market? What's happening in the mortgage environment with interest rates? Let's bring in our first guest, Scott Boaman. Scott Boaman is a residential mortgage banking expert. This guy is an award winner, top 1% nationwide with Synergy One Lending. Let's go ahead and bring in our first expert of the show, The American Dream. So joining us in studio, Scott Boaman, Captain Mortgage.
That's right, thanks.
Didn't know I was going to throw that
Glad
at you.
to be here. I like that.
Actually, I kind of feel like a mortgage banker today with the three-piece suit.
You got the look.
I actually look more like a politician than anything else, so that's not really good considering we were just talking about politics. But what's up, man? So good to have you on the show.
Thanks.
You are obviously doing very well in the mortgage space right here in San Diego. Amazing reputation. Everybody wants to know what's happening with interest rates and programs. There's not a better guy to answer it. So before we do that, 2015, right? You had a big year.
Good year.
What do we need to know about last year? Anything important?
It's done. Let's move on to 16. No,
no. I mean, if that's what
it was good. It was good year. Rates stayed low. People were buying. People were selling. So I think it was a great year last year.
Low inventory was a thing last year, low interest rates last year. We're going into this year. It sounds like there's been some activity, a lot of people hopping off the fence. Is it the rate thing? Why do you think people are active?
Possibly the rate scare.
Yeah.
I don't really think they're going to be moving that much. I mean, the Feds did bump them, but mortgage rates actually held. You know, took a little bit of a tick up, but now they're back down. So I think it's going to be a great year, phenomenal year.
Don't you think that's funny, though, that those sound bites, they get really replayed over and over and over again in the media. And when Janet Yellen says, I'm raising short-term rates, everybody thinks that's every interest rate that is attached to credit cards, car loans, mortgage rates. Everything that has interest attached to it just got raised up. The reality is mortgage rates have actually, so far in this year, they've done better.
That's right. They have.
So what ballpark, and I know you got to be really careful when you're quoting these, but like what ballpark are we in when we're talking about mortgage rates, 30-year notes?
Mid-upper threes, 3 3/4, roughly where we're at.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're still great. They're still great rates.
They're practically paying your mortgage for you.
Still great rates.
So interest rates are low, right? What that equates to is a low mortgage payment if you're buying a house, which is a great thing. One of the things that we've experienced since the market crashed is banks tightened up. They stopped lending money.
Right.
I understand now that some of these programs are opening up a bit. What does that really mean to the consumer? What exists out there?
Yeah, it means a lot more options, actually. And it's not necessarily through the bank model, but there's other conduits that are coming out, which gives them more programs, more choices, more flexibility. And interest-only loans are coming back and used in the right way.
Yeah.
Used in the right way, they can be a great tool. And then there's other programs where you have grant monies for down payment assistance programs. So the conduits are becoming more and more available and more flexible. Not that we're going back to crazy times. I don't think we're ever going to get there.
I sure hope not. Right?
But nevertheless, it's opening up more doors for other buyers that were not available.
I look at it as, this pen is the pendulum, right? And then leading up to the market crash, things have got a little bit too easy.
Or way up.
Yeah. If you could fog glass and you had a pulse, you could get financing. And people remember that as being subprime.
Yep.
Then it kind of swung the other way, right, where things got very difficult. You could have more money in the bank than you even need a loan for, and you couldn't get financing.
Right.
So where are we? Where's that pendulum now?
We're swinging back,
So we're getting back to normal.
Depending on who the source is.
Yeah.
The agencies that are heavily regulated, they're not going to swing back to the middle because they're selling into the secondary market, which is regulated, right? So it's the conduits that are coming out that aren't QM loans or qualified mortgage loans, basically, that are going to make options available for buyers. And that's what's bringing it more towards the center than anything else. So
I think with down payment assistance, that sounds kind of obvious. Less money down, that helps anybody who doesn't want to put a lot of money down. When with some of these other programs, who's benefiting, right? Like, for example, the self-employed borrower got crushed, right? If you're self-employed and you have a lot of tax write-offs, all of a sudden you don't have enough verifiable income to get financing.
Correct.
What type of borrower is seeing more options open up for them?
Those type of buyers, for sure.
Okay,
because you have
good. I think they deserve it the most.
Without a doubt. You have bank statement programs, which are coming back to the market to where if the income documentation is not there, the bank statement programs are available. So borrowers like that, affluent borrowers where we have asset depletion programs, to where you can utilize your assets.
Scott Boaman.
I know.
Tell me about asset
depletion. Pulled that out from the back.
Captain Mortgage?
Basically, you have a certain amount of assets in various funds, and we can qualify you based on the assets versus actually the tax returns. So, different method of qualifying.
So they're going to probably look at the whole picture, right?
Correct.
If you have compensating factors, I believe they call them, you can get some of these more creative loans, which is great, right? It gets more people in the game. Common sense.
That's where it's got to be. It can't be way over there or way over there. It's got to fit to be a common sense, and I think we're going back to that.
Well, it's good to have you in here. Since I do, can I get a prediction for 2016? I know you didn't bring your crystal ball, but what are your thoughts on the rest of this year? How do you think rates are going to do?
I think they're going to hold. I think it's going to be a great year. But I think even me personally, more importantly than where the rates are going, I think each person has to analyze their situation, because you might be in a situation where it makes more sense for you to act now, regardless of what the rates are. Maybe you're going to have children and you're still renting, and it's time to move. So there's other variables that come into play than just rates. Really, it's personal lifestyle and where you're at. And I really try and teach people that rather than just interest rates.
So look at the short and long-term goals, develop a cost-effective strategy. Interest rate is a component of that, but not the whole component. I think you really got to look at not so much the interest rate as how much interest you're actually going to pay, and that's where real advice gets in. I mean, do you pay points or do a no-cost loan? Are people refinancing?
Some, yeah.
Yeah, so we still have refinances.
People always need to refinance.
Right. I mean, that's where interest rate is not necessarily as important as the strategy involved.
Right, because life happens. And when life happens, it changes your circumstances. Therefore, it makes you look at other avenues that are available from the financing aspect. That's why people will always be refinancing.
Well, you're the money guy. Any real estate bubble? I see that a lot in the news. It makes me nervous. I just bought a house.
I think the real estate specialist is coming on after me, so I'll leave that up to him.
Hey,
I'm the money guy, and we'll let the real estate to those guys.
That's what you call a great tease. So Kurt Wanabo, #1 for the Wall Street Journal last year, is going to be joining us. Scott Boaman, Captain Mortgage, doing amazing things in the environment. Great reputation. Thanks for coming on the American Dream.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.